So what we are going to do now is clone this repository. Normally I'll be using PyCharm for this project, and what we're gonna do is just clone the repository into our local, and once the repository is cloned, we can open the under annual projects. You can see now we have this window. Yes, and as you can see, we have the new repository cloned into our local system. So now what we have to do is set up the environment. So if we get into example template service, and here if we see the pyproject.toml, you see that the Python environment is 3.8 along with the other dependencies that we want to install in order to run this service. So what we're gonna do at first, we're gonna get into service. Once we are into that, you can see that the poetry Python file is here, and what we can do, poetry use 3.8, and what it will do, poetry will create a virtual environment for your project. If you want to see how your new virtual environment looks like, you can do poetry info, and there you can see how your environment looks like. And currently you have to set this as your virtual environment. So what we are going to do, we are going to go into settings, and under settings in project we'll go to Python interpreter, and there if you see, it is the normal Python interpreter that we are using, but we don't want this, so we'll add a new virtual interpreter, and existing one because we just created one, and here 3. Virtual environments, and then if you see xvv1sb, so I think this one is for under this we have 3.8. And now we have a new virtual environment that is only assigned for this project. And if you see, now we are using this virtual environment for 3.8. Service. And if I want to see it list now, I'll just have these 3 files. So what we are going to do is now we are going to install all the dependencies that there is there. So what we're gonna do, install -bbb, and if you can see, now it is installing all the dependencies that it needed. And now if we do a pip list, you see all the dependencies are now in our virtual environment. So now what we have to do is try running this project and see what it does. So under source we run this run.py. Oh, there is an error, and it is saying no such file or directory. Yes, if you remember, what we had to do for the setup was to make a directory named etc example template service and copy the default config.yml that is provided here to this location. But for now, what we can do is just check how the default config looks like. So this is how the default config looks like, and what we can do, we can for the time being copy the path of this configuration file, and in the constants file we can just mention the new file name, and I think this will do the trick. Let us just try once more. Looks like it has started. So now we have a web service that is up and running and it is listening to its clients. So let's just try making a call to this web service. Normally it is a just example template web service without any main functions or features, and currently what it can do is it can take an array or list of numbers and just output the summation of those numbers. So let's just do this, and if you can see, it has taken all the numbers, floats and integers and stuff, and it has divided, and it has also given the version number. And here if you can see, the service is running, and how many times now we run it this way, the service will continue to provide us with the results. So we are going to take this web service, the fast API web service that we already have, and now in this project we are going to implement a product that is based on a deep learning model, and we're gonna do some object detections and make a web service out of it, and let's see how it goes.